Hello, Gemini. This morning, my friends, the Brits, and I had an idea to do a full moon spread for y'all, and it's a 3-card spread, so it's very quick. I should have had them all up already, but I'm a procrastinator. So, Gemini, we're kicking out the line, y'all live. This is for full moon in Scorpio. For any Gemini, sun, moon, rising, there's one of the Brits. And I'm using the Wicked deck, which honestly, there's not very few, but this deck is for very specific spreads. You can't just be like, you know, a Celtic Cross could work with this deck. I feel that has always worked with me with very specific spreads, such as like who I am, who I was, who I will be, things like that. And what we've been getting this morning has been very good with this full moon in Scorpio. So, without further ado, Gemini, which again, thank you guys for the like 800 plus fucking views last month. You guys were the most viewed at the end of my April month reading, which fucking blew me away, honestly. So, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So the 3 cards in the spread are Illumination, what you can no longer hide, okay? The second card is Release, what you need to let go of, and the third card is, I don't remember the keyword, but what will emerge from this full moon cycle. And Gemini, what just jumped out of the deck, what you can no longer hide is Cave and Retreat. So I'm going to read the interpretation, but right off the rip, this is telling me that you no longer can be in this mode of hibernation. It's spring, and it's time to be more social. It's time to come out and be more social and sociable. I will read the direct interpretation, Gemini, but this is something you can't hide anymore. Maybe it's your feelings that you're retreating and, you know, trying to cover up something, but it's saying to me that there's something that's going to be out of season. I just heard too. You can't hide it anymore because it needs to be dealt with. It's out of season and it needs to have light shed on this subject. But again, we will go with the exact interpretation. So what does Gemini need to release this full moon in Scorpio cycle? Whoa. Okay. Attraction and spiral, the keyword being attraction. So what you need to let go of. I got that in my what I can no longer hide. So this will be interesting. And the last card is what will be emerging from this full moon cycle for y'all. Oh, Andrew's just messaged me on Messenger.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, but I didn't want to repeat.
And I got this from my last card too. Emerging Crone. So, Gemini, you guys are going to be coming into the wisdom plate. The wizard card is on the bottom of the deck. This is all about spiritual impeccability. This is about, you know, you being tested to see how much spiritual gifts and hide. Cave being the keyword. Gemini, let's see what's going on. What's going down? All right. This is the vibration of your sacral chakra. Can you write him, please? Can you tell him I'm just doing a live video and I was going to answer him in 5 minutes? Gemini, cave appearing in a reading indicates that this is a time of no action and suggests a period of withdrawal from active participation. This is your season for preparation, for gestation, and for rest. Treasures are to be found, and if you take time to go within and search for them. With slow and steady application, you can achieve what you've set out to do. Potentials and possibilities are forming within you. Give them time the time that they need to emerge strong and vibrant and ready for expression in your life. So if this is something you can no longer hide, Gemini, it's telling you it's time to shit or get off the pot. You guys have already been cultivating this energy. So you can no longer hide behind the coziness of your cave. You need to show the world what it is that you have been thinking about creatively in your love life, in your work life. we're being pretty basic because this is just an experimental fun reading for the full moon, okay? And the next card is release, what you need to let go of. Attraction, spiral, attraction being the keyword. The vibration is of formative ethers. Keywords are attraction, release, and movement. Spiral indicates that this is a time to draw toward need in order to progress your position in life. You may need to release something, see, in order for this to happen. By letting go, you create a space that within that, it automatically calls for it to be filled. This vacuum can contain any kind of energy, so be aware of how you fill it. Treat life as a dance at this moment, a combination of growth and rest, and see it as a cosmic wheel of your evolution. Try not to reject these things that you may need, but may not want, and those things that you want, but may not need. You are attracting attention, Gemini. And I forgot to do the high vibe and the low vibe. We don't read these cards in reverse, so the high vibe is change is coming, are you ready, Gemini? And the low note is release, let go, and prepare. For that position, that's perfect. Let go of what is no longer serving you. Again, come out of your cave, Gemini. And with the Crone card in your last position of what is going to emerge, this definitely speaks of, I feel like some of you are definitely embarking on a spiritual journey, or maybe just revamping your spiritual practice, or kind of like rethinking your inks when it comes to your spirituality. So Crone is release itself. The crown chakra, wisdom, release, and maturity. And this is what's going to emerge. The crone sees that you are being called to the wisdom place, to go within and release any attachments to the outside world, so that you can gather understanding of your current experiences and make sense of your life. A maturity is called for that gives no place for familiar emotional patterns or thought processes, but rather uses each opportunity to see beyond the illusions of the small self and to step into a greater reality. So that's like that negative self-talk, I feel like, Gemini, that some of us do. The negative behavioral patterns that we have. That's like small potatoes in the grand scheme of things. It's asking you to take a step back so you can see the whole picture more clearly. The crone is coming into your life now to show that you have just experienced, or shortly will, a change and a release that requires some deep responses. You are being advised to let go and let life shape itself. Life is change. Embrace your wisdom is the high note. And the low note is there's no need to stand in the dark, Gemini. And the bottom of the cup is the bottom of the card deck is wisdom. I can't talk. It is wizard. Spiritual impeccability. This is one of my favorite cards. We'll have that story for another time, but the vibration is spirit. The keywords are self-importance, impeccability, and egotism. I feel like this is going to wrap up the reading as like a general message. Wizard reveals that you have the potential to be charismatic and influential at this time. But be aware, for Wizard carries a cautionary note. Are you being used, or are you using another person, Gemini? When you find that you are in a position of authority, control, or influence, ensure that your powers are being utilized for the greater good and not for personal gain or prestige. Don't be tempted by ego. Impeccability is essential if one is to retain magical gifts or magical or spiritual gifts. Current circumstances may be a test just to see how much spiritual wisdom you deserve to carry. Move forward with integrity. The high note in the card is actions taken now wield powerful results. So be mindful of what you say and your thoughts. Your thoughts carry power too, Gemini. And the low note is more ego, less spirit. Challenge self-importance. So with this full moon, I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be doing a lot of self-inventory, as I call it. A lot of soul searching, and maybe even changing your views on life itself and the way that you show yourself to the world and the way that you respond. Gemini, that is your full moon in Scorpio reading. Let me know what you think. As always, namaste, and have a good night, guys. Peace. Nice, sorry. Stop it.